And hello again. Second month of 10 Funders. Going pretty well, I might say. Here, just doing some painting on some of the newest models, fleshing out my honeypot. Trying to do a particular pattern on. Not quite sure how you actually meant to say his name, Koto. But it's coming together. It's not exactly as I envisioned, but I think we've got to remember he's a 5 point model and to not lose our mind trying to make a 5 stones model the centerpiece of the entire army. So I think I'm just gonna let that dry, paint the rest of him, and if I think it needs more detail in the pattern, we can go back to it. Other than that, that's the bulk of the hobby work this month. I've got some other models coming to assemble shortly, so we'll look forward to them next time, I suppose. But the only games I managed to get in this month were, of course, the tournament. So let's talk about that. So, first tournament with Funders. Now, I decided to solo Mei Fang into this for a few reasons. But top of those lists is I could play entirely keyword and it's entirely painted. I am missing a few models from the keyword, and as I discovered through the length of this games, that I don't think Metal Gammon are really worth bringing, especially at least not two of them. So I'm hoping to pick up some more stuff for Foundry soon to fix this problem, but onto the games. So, game 1 versus Masaki. Now, it was a really interesting game because I haven't had a chance to play my Last Blossom yet, so I get to see what some of them do. Now, this one ended 7-5 for me. I think one of the real hitting points is I was a Katanaka sniper who managed to red Joker Masaki when I flipped, I believe, a 3. So he did a lot of damage, and it's just sort of... there's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes people just manage to flip good off the top of the deck. My best advice, just flip good. You win games that way. But it forced me to play very defensively with her, as I didn't have the healing to bring her back up to full. So if I wanted to send her in to really do some damage, it would most likely get her killed. Oh no, I think it was just my opponent, Stanley, just playing the game just that bit better than me, scored him those couple extra points. But, moving on to Game 2 versus Hoffman. Now this is where I really wanted to start caking Foundry. Grave robbing, cake the high ground, leave your mark seems all really easy for a Ride the Rails crew to smash out. Again, not too much on this game. We really equaled each other out at a 7-7 draw. I think Mei Fang herself was doing some major damage on one flank, keeping some guys busy, and other than that, he was doing some good jobs hitting me back while I was able to remaneuver and cake zones. I remember correctly, I think he cooked most of the strategy point, but I was caking more schemes. I think one of the big lessons here was playing to the clock. Now, obviously this means we made it to turn 3. If we had gone to a turn 4, I reckon he would have won. But and at least neither one of us was playing slower than the other, so I don't think it's on either of us to take responsibility for the slow play. But you got to keep an eye on the clock, and you also got to think about in a tournament, if the game's only going to go to turn 3 and you can win turn 3, then that's what you should aim for. Don't go setting up scores for turns that will never happen. But moving on to Game 3. Now again, reshape the lane, frame job, breakthrough, out of plant explosives in flank. Screams Foundry to me. Jumping around, putting down whatever markers I want. Really easy. Now, this is a game against Euripides, and I'm kind of surprised it went as well as it did. I got greedy and sent Mei Fang into his deployment zone second activation, and then I spent a lot of time trying to recover from that. I think one of the big things I overlooked is Euripides himself can just smash through my minions. Like, there was very little I could do to stop him from just killing the guy if he wanted to. So Mei Fang jumping around and Kang was sort of my only thing securing a flank. Dropping down explosive, just managing to scrape through points. Again, this is one of those games where it ended turn 3, and if we went to a 4th, pretty confident my opponent would have won. So, as I said before, just a reminder to play for the time you have, not for the optimal scenario. But overall, final rankings. So, out of 3 players containing 2 Ten Thunders, 2 Guild, and 2 Neverborn, I managed 3rd place, which I was both surprised and quite pleased with. Now, as I said before, I normally want to stay in the top half of the rankings, which I certainly did. I normally don't aim for a podium position, so even 3rd place, I was quite pleased with. And hopefully we can keep it up through the course of the year. So we'll see how we go for the next one. But I think that might be it for this month. So that's me, Captain Steel, signing out.